It's just a tear where she's just like, "Do you guys want to see me open my eyes wider?" And they're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I noticed people really hate, like about what people don't like about you. It's not your fake hair, fake personality, fake teeth, fake smile. The most depressing thing about you is your real tits.
Oh, that would say light. Jeez.
Speaking of Linsanity, this is insane because we have Brian Moses, comedian, commissioner of Roast Battle League at the Comedy Store, just all around chill ass dude. Give it up for Brian Moses in the studio, everyone. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, you can tell I care because of my outfit. Wearing the merch.
I like your shirt.
I got the safari hat on.
You wouldn't wear merch if you didn't care, though.
Please.
I don't know if the camera's getting this, but I got these things on.
Can we make sure the camera's getting this?
For
They
foot
look so
strength.
comfortable.
Poor Asher. No, you don't have to literally do that. Hold.
I mean, you can. Yeah.
Hold for feet. Hold for feet. Do you keep now? Do you take them off behind a paywall?
Yes, only behind a paywall. No, these are actually my feet. Yeah. I tattooed this for branding, but these are actually my feet.
Different tone. It's not even
Very
webbed. It's just like a big club of a foot.
It's a dead foot.
Yeah, just a dead foot.
It's a dead foot.
Just we got a dead foot here. Yeah, well, your big foot in the door into comedy has been thanks to this guy. To be honest.
Honestly, yeah.
What is this podcast?
We just talk about nothing.
Really?
Whatever we want
It's a Seinfeld podcast.
But there's like, you guys have a whole brand about like church and state. Do we talk about church? Do we talk about state?
You know what?
It's just a comedy podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
We've never, and I guess I could explain the thesis a little bit because, maybe not since our first episode have we, first of all, it's always about getting high off of hippie water. But I met Yuna a couple months ago, and she's a very eager comedian, wanted to like dive in. And then after a couple mics we ran into each other, she's like, "Do you want to start a podcast?" And whenever someone says it, I'm like, "Yeah, sure, we'll see what happens."
Okay.
Like, blah, But then the work that she put into actually locking shit down, and I was like, okay, this is someone who's really hungry, and also just totally different perspective. I've been doing this forever. No one knows who I am. She's been in this 5 minutes, has 20,000 followers or so.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I
So the
guess.
old gods are dead, and I think this is a good forum to just like talk about how it's working for her. Why is it working for her? What is even comedy
Because
and
TV
fame?
credits don't matter anymore. That's a 1900s thing. This
my God.
century,
Yeah.
It's how many viral.
all about how you
views.
look.
My nieces and nephews are all like, they don't care about any movie or TV I've done. They're just like, are you on YouTube?
That
Yeah.
part.
I've shown them my roast battle clips, and my 8-year-old niece was like, let's have a roast battle. And she fucking eviscerated me.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's a lot of kids who keep like wanting to roast battle. I've been learning that. I have
Oh,
an
really?
niece, and she's doing the same thing.
Oh,
we
really?
have this. Episode of Max Fosh, like he's like a big YouTuber.
Yeah.
So he's got a couple like episodes where like there's 8-year-olds roast battling people.
Yeah.
One in the UK and then one here in like the States and New York.
Are you ever worried about are you ever like, oh, am I a bad influence?
No, I am not.
I don't think you are.
I don't
It's not
think-
on you.
and I
it's
don't
the
even
parents,
think
right?
the format's bad. If anything, this is a way for kids to fight back and use
Yes,
their words as,
exactly.
as
Ooh, I
parents
love
like
this.
to say.
Anti-bullying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're anti-physical violence
Totally.
because one of the 3 rules, right?
It's original material only, so please at least try to have some original thought. We understand that there is no such thing as original thought, but try to get as close as possible.
Right.
And then there's no physical contact, right? We're using our words here. But then at the end, to break the tension, we hug.
Yeah.
Right, like any like good karate or physical sport, you handshake or you hug each other, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
slap butts if it's consensual.
Yeah.
Just some
So we're all
consensual-
about.
She and Trina kissed at the end of
Yeah.
theirs.
I thought it would be funny.
Yeah, it's been like it's like a tradition.
That was my
It's a
favorite
weird thing.
ending to any roast battle that I've
Oh,
seen.
yeah, she
personally.
kissed you.
No, she kissed Trina.
No, I would
that's-
never.
I would never
fucking-
either. Yeah, that's fucking gross.
What are you doing here?
But one thing that you said that struck a chord with me, and we were talking about it before you got here, was no one cares about TV credits anymore. But Roast Battle, it started 2013 and was playing on Comedy Central. It had a couple seasons on Comedy Central, right?
Yeah, a few actually, more than a couple.
Yeah,
we go 3.
Yeah, I was about to say by couple. Yeah, but yeah. So no one cares about TV credits anymore. What was the process of like you got the brand, you got the show ends, but you want to keep the brand going and reinventing it. Now it's turned into this successful YouTube channel and reaching across all cities. Like, how do you rebuild when the old gods are dead, like we talked about, and you're building something new from that?
Still got to say, I don't understand why you guys call this church and state. I'm still
It's
blown
just a
away
name. It's
that
just a name.
you guys are getting away with this working title.
Blame Yuna. I think everything's a working title. I don't think anything's ever truly.
We should have
set in
called it
stone.
Rice and
already-
Beans.
We
Rice
almost
and
called it
Beans
Rice
is
and
great.
Beans.
I know, but
is that already taken?
No, 5,000
Average
likes on this video, and we'll retitle the podcast to Rice and Beans. Are you brave enough, America?
Yeah, church and state is actually scarier than rice and beans. It's taken? I thought, it's way too simple.
In fairness, after we published, we saw there were like 3 other church and state podcasts.
But I think it's funny if
But we've beaten them now. We've
take
just-
out like all the actual church searches and just influx it with ours, where we talk about nothing. That's
Right,
funny.
right. So anytime someone wants to get right with God, it ends up defaulting to our podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. This just feels like America in like the 80s.
Should we pray?
Is that you mean at its peak?
I mean, yes, America was at its peak in the 90s.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, how do I feel now? It was an adjustment, I think, personally, just for stand-up purposes, because I think we're taught for so long, if you were doing stand-up maybe pre-Instagram era, right? Like right when it's getting going, right? Like, the death of MySpace, the rise of Facebook, the ascension of Twitter, kind of where I come from, right? That era. So you're not really investing or putting all your eggs into the social media basket, right? For the most part, you kind of think that that's where a lot of base humor is, right? It's a lot of children on YouTube, right? You know, that's where they can go if their parents are going to let them watch like cable TV. But for the most part, guys like myself, people like Yuna, comics, right? Your first gigs are usually on cable TV before you can get to broadcast. So we had an idea. We sold the idea. It worked on television.
Very much
and then Comedy Central kind of uses the format to kind of drum up and it's a talent pipeline gimmick, right? It's easy to kind of see who can write jokes, who's funny on the fly, who can live perform under pressure like that. So it kind of gives you all of the things you're looking for as far as a live performer. It's kind of why Comedy Central kept the format, and that's why they have the trademark. But as far as the 2020s are concerned, because that was the 2010s, so that was like, that's streaming's peak, that's cable's peak, that's linear's peak, that's broadcast peak, and then we get to 2020, and it's all about
that's when everything
remote working.
Yes,
and short form content. So the rise of short form content,
UGC in general,
is the death of, we'll say, comedy on television, right? So now it's built
and kind of like
social
stand up
media.
as we know it in terms of how people discover it and how people succeed in it. Yeah, and now what's the path?
It's like America's Funniest Home Videos, So it's not so much about what you're saying. It's just like physically, are you attractive enough? Or are you interesting enough looking? And after those things, all right, well, I listen to you for the next 45 seconds, hopefully, right? And then after that, then I got you. Then it's the parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
So, and it's just a little harder, I think, if you're trying to be a stand-up and trying to build an hour and trying to do that in, like, I don't want people to see me fail for the whole hour. I want them to see the finished product, right?
Sure.
The bread should be baked. I don't want you to see the yeast.
Yeah.
But as far as roast battle, it's like, we all kind of look at that as Mission Impossible or Inspector Gadget type stuff, where it's like these only last for 30 seconds and they're gone. Right? But it's not something I'm using in my act. It's just something that people got to see me perform because this is a writing exercise, and that people know how I can write and then perform what I'm writing. So that's a little easier to, I think, consume. And it was easier for us to, really adjust to that part of the 2020s.
Do you have like a favorite roast battle? Like
Yes.
one that comes to mind like automatically?
Do you get sick of answering this question?
No. I loved it.
okay,
I mean,
Yeah?
listen. I love this. This sport and format is always fun for me because it does it separates the real narcissist.
As many times as you've done it, there's always going to be surprises. Too.
Always, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's
crazy.
why I keep coming back to it because I learn
Same.
something every show. And I think I said this on an Instagram story post. If you follow me, it's Brian motherfucking Moses.
Follow Brian motherfucking Moses, y'all.
But I really do appreciate the homage that it is to the genre of stand-up comedy, right? Because you're gonna get so many things. Like sometimes there's a DJ in the back, right, with sound effects. There's there's guys like Sean Zapp, of this generation who bring up props.
This generation, that was literally a you damn
there's-
kids moment.
There were guys who always brought props up. So I'm saying when this thing first started, I was always like props for the death of it, right? So to kind of see that it's
so
always
cyclical.
gonna exactly.
It's so fucking cyclical. Yeah.
And then, at one point we had this like improv, / sketch group called The Wave that would like do a thing. And, The only thing that's really written is what you guys are doing, but it's a love letter to improv, sketch, all the things that kind of make up what a comedy crowd and what a comedy performance can be. We're testing all the levels, so that's why I love it for the most part.
Now the favorite battle.
Now my favorite battle would be
or battler
or joke.
My favorite joke is it's about a paraplegic guy, and the dude who's able-bodied says,
"Oh, with Robin?"
No, it was Albert Escobedo, and it was versus Joe Urell. And he said, Joe's going to hell because there's a stairway to heaven. And I'll never forget that joke. So that's my favorite roast battle joke because it is the most memorable. My favorite battle, gosh. Anything Keith Carey did, I think, in his heyday was really fun. But the one I remember the most is probably Yasser Lester versus Benji Aflalo. I think I've said that on other podcasts, but that one is because they're both great writers. I mean, like even in the industry we're in right now, like people know both those guys' names as writers for the most part, and as well as stand-ups. But that was probably the first time we had like big names who weren't like big names. And then we had these like big name judges too. That was the first time Jeff Ross came in. And it was just such an
It was that night where it all
show.
came together in a way, and it just like one of those unforgettable nights.
Yeah, so I'll never forget like that was the main event, and that's the reason Jeff came. That's the reason like the other half came because like they just wanted to see Lester.
There's nothing like a night where it just all comes together.
It was cool.
Jay Light I always have a soft spot in my heart for. I love him to death, and like he just is crazy watching the old roast battle on Comedy Central, and just like this young Jay Light is. But seeing him at the store, he's been on the receiving and giving end of some of my favorite roasts. His battle against Nate.
Phrasing.
What's that?
I said phrasing, Brian.
Yeah, he's getting it from all angles from me. But him against Nate, and Nate said Jay has 2 cats and a dog-faced wife.
Yes.
And that was just the setup of the joke, but it went so well. He didn't bother getting through actually all jokes against Jay. And then Kiki had a joke that won him. Just Jay has a blog, which is pretty gay. And she didn't even get to the second half of the joke because everyone laughs so fucking hard at Jay. But Jay, I will say some of my favorites of his, and it was against Kiki, and that one was, talking about how she did an OnlyFans or something like that. And he's like, but who cares? Your ass is flatter than a Palestinian hospital.
Wow.
And then he's like, Kiki, researching you. Yeah, I noticed people really hate, like about what people don't like about you. It's not your fake hair, fake personality, fake teeth, fake smile. The most depressing thing about you is your real tits.
Oh, that would say light. Jeez.
Yeah.
I think mine is the one with Juanita and Frank Caesar, where Frank says, "Gotta make this quick. She's gotta empty her diva cup full of poop."
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because she's trans.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or I really like, this was recent, where it was DeHerm and Guam. And Guam had said he looks like he hits only the white kids at daycare.
Oh, yeah, with that glove.
With his stinky glove.
Oh, my God.
And he said something like he's built like mid-sit.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah. Those are all visual, though. You got to be able to see.
Yeah.
That was the other part of Roast Battle, too. It's not just Joke Writer Showcase, but also it's like how's your stage presence translate, whether you're getting roasted or you're the one roasting.
Yeah.
It's the visual of what that person looks like when you're like, they look like blah, blah, blah.
It's true, man.
That's
and
like,
the
other half.
With the evolution of that, too, it's guys would come, and strategy would be sometimes like, I remember Frank Castillo would have like maybe balding, right? And so then people would talk about Frank balding, and then he would just shave his head, and they're like, oh, fuck, he's already bald.
Exactly.
So then you just have no strategy now.
Sure.
Like, that would fuck you up with the whole battle.
No, Hannah, oh my God, how am I blanking on her name? Hannah Renee. But before, like, we set up a battle a couple months in advance, and then she gets on Ozempic and starts dressing feminine. When she was like this chubby chick who like dressed like a kid from Recess. And so I was thinking like chubby chick, dressing like a little tomboy or whatever.
No.
Then she shows up in this dress, and then all those jokes fall flat. And I'm just like, damn. So I want a rematch against you, Hannah, now that I know who you are.
With the glow up.
Yeah. I want to battle glow up Hannah with that in mind. Well, you're a big, all right. Another thing that we do at Church and State, you're like, what is this podcast?
Yes, what is this?
We love a good format.
Okay.
We love a good game.
Okay.
And I thought you'd respect that.
Do love a good game.
So I fancy you a bit of a comedy historian. You know Ball, Moses. So we wanted to have a comedy draft, all three of us, based on a handful of attributes: writing, stage presence, crowd work / relationship with crowd, persona, and then a wild card characteristic.
Can we zoom in on Yuna wearing this Tom Segura shirt as if she's the reason that they got divorced?
That is actually what
I'm his secret mistress.
I know it, and then he's wearing Texas just to support that Tom lives in Texas. So if you guys want to send your hate mail,
for. Hook 'em horns. Natty or bust this year, y'all.
Wow.
You know what's funny? She was
The
the most,
YMH home wrecker.
she was the one who was the most heartbroken about the whole thing too, and now she's out here flaunting it.
Yeah.
No, I mean it is a thing that got both of them, to where they are now. Like not just being great stand-ups, but also having a relationship within the business that was working. Right? They built a brand together. They built their careers together. It's like
It made me believe in love, and now I don't believe in it anymore.
No. It's the power of buying subscribers and fans. Yeah.
Well, and you asked me why are we doing this? Man, I just don't want to take clowning. Because to succeed now, you need something repeatable. If I'm a comic and I make a great bit after honing it for a few months and I post it, it goes viral, what does the algorithm say? Cool, asshole. What's next?
Yeah.
So if I could do this once a week, have Yuna clip it for a week's worth of content, and then I have something repeatable that I'm comfortable with.
Let's get existential. I mean, why did we do that as comics, right? There was such a
narcissism.
There was such a long tradition of us not doing that, right? I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I remember guys who had no fucking set and being like, man, I may get on the late shows. I can't really be putting my stuff out there.
What is burning material anymore?
At this point, like you have to walk around tripods and open mics.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. We just like sold ourselves out for short form. As soon as it came out, they were like, I can get big this way. So now like you kind of see what's happening now, right?
Oh yeah,
because there were guys who were doing it for fucking
years
who were famous now. Not to say those guys weren't talented, they're playing to an audience now that wasn't always popular.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, totally.
Right, like the TV and film and radio audience is a little more savvy than the internet audience. So now you're dealing with porn addicts, gambling addicts, and
you mean Yuna's audience?
Yeah.
You mean Yuna's audience?
Right.
My audience
my
is
bad,
95% male.
And they're gooners. They're gooners on the Kalshi and whatnot.
That's fine as long as they give me money.
How much money have they given you so far?
$5.
She literally got Venmoed $5 for a fan.
They've bought tickets before though, so.
Oh, okay. How much of that ticket revenue did you see? Did he have a split with the house?
I think like $10.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. It's just $60 on the black after 8 months of work.
It's a start.
It is a start.
It's just a tear where she's just like, do you guys want to see me open my eyes wider? Or like, oh my God. It's like $10.
All right, now, while we were riffing on career existentialism, and this Yuna's heard it from me all day. I say all this shit. I yell at her about my life and career.
As a guy who has the same kind of eyes, I guess.
But
very sleepy.
Did that give you any time to think about these categories of how about we go around and say who's our top writing? If we're making a comedian from scratch, who would be your
all right.
favorite
We're building the
writer?
perfect comic. All right, let's say.
And I'll give mine first for writing if anyone wants.
I mean, there's no options. You're just saying like there's just boom, just go.
Every comedian who ever lived.
Really?
Yeah.
Writer?
We can get a draft board if you want.
We can.
I pulled up a list of like the top 40 comics. Well, I was just like, who would I? Because even if you know the names, it's easier to see it's better to see the draft.
Yeah,
board.
you want to see it. People want to know like what's he thinking? Because I would say one of the best writers has got to be God. I mean, like,
God the comedian, right?
Is insane.
Yeah, we all know God the comedian.
Yeah. God the
I think Carlin for sure.
Carlin as a writer. I had Bill Hicks personally as a writer, just because also he died too young. I wanted to see more out of him.
I'm gonna go Mooney, just because he wrote a lot of Richard Pryor stuff.
Yeah,
but it's also like it's teaching Tiger how to golf, right? It's like,
true.
I mean, the guy's already like naturally gifted. It's at that point. So, maybe I'll go writer. Let's go. I'm gonna, Chris Rock. I think Chris Rock's one of my favorite.
I love that. Yeah, I might have in my stage presence category, but Rock is on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
we talked Mount Rushmore. Mine was Carlin, Pryor, CK, and Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, who would be on your Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore it's Rock, Chappelle, Ellen DeGeneres.
Really?
There's your wild card.
Wow.
Yeah, just because her first HBO special was
was huge.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you watch it, it was like one of the.
It's still really good.
Yeah, because
it
I
holds
think
up.
when you think Ellen, you think that sitcom. Like I was a kid during her sitcom, but then like she's bigger in my younger 20s. Like and she has the talk show, right? She's like daytime queen. But then you forget. So like when I saw it, I remember I was like maybe a few years in, and I was just blown away by the economy of words and just like how quickly she can get to a punchline and how big those punchlines
She
are.
was good at that.
Yeah. So she's in there.
Chappelle Rock Ellen. First of all, this is already a crazy Mount Rushmore.
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
I'm so curious who
And the
rounds it
last one would probably be, gosh, I guess it's got to be between Carlin and Klein,
Pryor.
Robert Klein, really.
Klein.
But I would say
Not even Pryor.
it's got to be Carlin, right?
Okay.
I mean, yeah. But Cosby's in there too. I mean, it's hard to.
He is.
It's hard to separate the man from the art, but. There was one point where like nobody's really fucking with Bill Cosby.
Sure.
I mean, to a point where like Richard
Pryor.
Pryor, yeah, right.
He kind
There's a lot of instances where nobody's fucking with Bill Cosby, but there was a point in time,
Yeah. I mean, he was, and a lot of people, it's like he's just kind of dead named at this point, right? Where it's just like we kind of pretend like he doesn't exist.
Right. I mean, listen, it's Pryor doing him, and then Cosby calling him out, and then he kind of reinvents himself, and then
That showed the power that he had, though.
right, that he could pivot and then become like even greater.
True.
You know?
By going to fucking the Bay Area and getting high and Paul Mooney writing your jokes,
right.
which I think is, and I kind of respect. People always said Paul was a little crotchety and like shit like that, but I
You
guess
would be too if you couldn't be out of the closet as a black man in the 70s. Like you just couldn't be gay.
No.
Like I'd be upset
Gay
too.
black
Like I
men
can't be who I want to be.
are full of rage, and they should be.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that he knew that Richard was a Babe Ruth, Michael Jordan character that he's like, this is actually sounds just better coming out of you. And I'll have jokes that I think of, and I'm like, this is so good coming out of this other comic's mouth.
It's like being a songwriter.
Yeah, it is. It is. The dream, man. Paul Mooney is comedy the dream, isn't he?
That's amazing.
Why
I actually
not?
love that comparison.
Thank you. Stage presence.
Stage.
Who's next off the board?
As a comic.
I got one
stage
here.
presence.
Me too.
I mean, probably Martin in his prime, right? Martin Lawrence or Eddie,
Oh,
or
that's
Eddie
a
Murphy.
good one. That's a really good
like
one.
those guys were just dynamic in their stage.
Because Eddie Murphy could, be so charismatic talking about gay men and AIDS.
Right.
And we'd be like, billionaire. Right on the spot.
But something about like Martin and You So Crazy, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. That was like watching a movie, but that was just a one-man show, right? So.
And what is funny
have
about
to go
Martin
with
is like his stage mannerisms are so recognizable that if someone just goes like, nah, then they're like, hey, you're doing Martin.
Yeah. Outlandish, yeah. Chris Tucker probably too, but I mean, it's hard to watch an hour of Chris.
Here's
so.
totally true. Robin Williams for me.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
What's
I
yours?
was gonna say Chappelle. I know
No, I
it's
get
so
it.
basic.
I know.
I feel like you guys.
Something about a fella hitting his leg with a microphone just gets this woman in a tizzy.
No, it's just very like TED Talky, where it's like you have my attention and I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of stage presence. If
Do you take
That's
TED Talk
crazy.
and comedy as like a backhanded compliment?
Yeah,
I mean, it can be a
Really?
compliment. It can be a
Totally
compliment or a negative.
But it's more introspective, no?
You don't. I mean, first of all, you're literally taking them out of the comedy genre and putting them into like you're teaching a class almost, or you're teaching on a subject. Not so much like, hey, I'm laughing about whatever subject matter you're talking about. It's not a comedy show. You're saying it's a TED Talk.
It's a lecture.
Right.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So if it's backhanded. I mean, if it can be a compliment subjectively, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, not objectively.
Now, next category, life/onstage persona.
Who's the best?
Who if you're molding the perfect comic, who's kind of like life and or persona would you want them to have? I have a bit of a tie here.
Ooh, wow.
They're both black comics that have yet to be discussed.
Okay.
Patrice.
That's one. She
don't-
knows ball. Look at
yeah.
her. Look at her go.
I don't know if I want
that was
Patrice's
mine.
life
Oh,
though,
okay.
because
Fair.
he died of like
All of his life
Black
choices.
causes, yeah.
No, but I guess but he had a lot of stuff to say because of it. So
Right.
if, like that's what you're building off of.
Well,
I will
if
say
if that's the case, then it's like Robin Harris, the guy who does like who inspired Bebe's kids.
Yeah, true.
Anybody's a
I will
sitcom,
say,
right?
and my second option too, also black man died in his prime for probably Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
For me, it
Yeah.
was Bernie Mac or Patrice, who I like their persona or like
Sure.
life story to relate to.
I mean, Miss Pat, I guess. If you're
Oh,
talking about
I
that.
did a comedy festival with her kind of early on.
Yeah.
And Eddie Pepitone was on at Miss Pat. I was like just a few years in North Carolina Comedy Festival, but I was blown away by her. And
Yeah,
I love watching her
she's-
success.
She raps till she lives. She's crazy.
That's a really good one, actually. Yeah, talk about building blocks.
Yeah.
For comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's like a kind of bonus category too. We'll get into. Okay, now for this next one is wild card. You can just take any trait from any comedian that exists and implant it into this perfect comic.
Wow.
And I have one for this here.
I think what just, and this is personally and subjectively what I think. My favorite comics have a fearlessness. And if you're fearless, there is no limit on your jokes, right? It's why a guy like a Shane Gillis can thrive. It's why a guy like a Chappelle can thrive. My favorite comic of my era, I mean, I just love this guy. I don't think anybody really knows him, like, who he doesn't have like a special that's like huge, but like a Jamar Neighbors, like, I got to see his growth throughout the 2010s, and you know, now he's not putting out too many specials anymore, but like there was a point where I was like, there's nobody going as hard as Jamar, and getting the payoff with the way he would get to the hole with his premises and his punchlines were just, I never seen anything like it.
Wow.
So I think, and that one thing always like was something I thought separated the greats from just like being a good writer or a good performer. Like I can see a guy like a Sebastian or a crowd worker like a Rick Ingram or an Ian Bagg, right? And I'm just like, all right, cool. Like I could probably get down like that, right? Like I could perform I could really sell a joke like Sebastian, or I could do some crowd work if I need to, like, you know, wade in the water for a little bit for maybe an hour, right? Like I have those skill sets, but as far as like being fearless of like being scared of like this not working for 45
and working
minutes,
your ass off
20
to put
minutes,
that out there.
right? Like I've seen Jamar.
You had a front row seat to it too, so
I mean, I've seen the guy like have a crowd eat out the palm of his hand and then like really just like have them hate him to a point where they're just like, get this guy off stage. I will burn this place down.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's incredible like that. So having that trait, I think, is that's what I'd love to have.
For similar reasons, my answer is Maria Bamford.
Really?
In terms of fearlessness and risk taking, and just like her mind and how she'll just go to wherever she cares to. Like she's like, to have an A-list comic that'll show up at any shitty open mic and you have a chance to run into her, and she will talk to everyone who wants to talk to her and be so nice. And I'm just like, what an alien of a person who can just, you know, function at that level, take those risks and still, you know, and I don't know, like, we also romanticize the mentally ill comedian who is like, oh, sacrifice your mental health for greatness. But she's like, no, just because you have problems, that actually means you should take care of them so you could, you know, use that perspective. And so she, you know, espouses like taking care of yourself and your mental health in order to achieve those, you know, those comedic heights and not just like, So I respect that part about her. How about you?
It's not like, have you seen Sarah Squirm's special?
Oh, well,
it's just weird.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like personally, I'm not that okay with being like super weird and goofy.
No, you're not.
But I admire that.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, she has this whole presentation of like huge pussy lips and like is playing like these like super hacky sound effects, but she's doing it in a way where it still works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's interesting that we're all, for the X Factor, we all gravitated towards risk taking.
Something weird and different.
Yeah, something
that's what an X Factor is now.
Final part of the puzzle. Career instincts.
Career instincts.
And that can mean a lot of different things. Because, like, yes, Kevin Hart's
Chappelle.
successful, but do I want to, you know, be in that many bad movies?
I mean, I would say Shane Gillis then. I just like think that everybody, you know, if this
Chappelle, Gillis, Bargatze.
Right.
I think Bargatze's a one.
Bargatze's a great one. I mean, Adam Sandler is another
and how
one.
to make it succeed in like kind of the modern way.
Totally.
Like, and this new.
Those blueprints are like, you can follow those. And I think those are the way they get down. Even like Tom Segura, like, you know, the way like they do it. I like the guys of this generation who are succeeding because they are giving a very simple blueprint of just like, do your thing, invest in yourself or your people, and then you guys will all come up together, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And I guess what does someone who came up owe the people he came up with? If one of your buddies in the group explodes, what is owed? You know, if anything, right?
Really, I mean, like that's a tough one. I mean, because I think most people want to kind of get it on their own, right?
Yeah.
But if you can't facilitate, you know, hey, this agent or this casting director or this network person or whatever it is, and you happen to like your buddy's art, right? Not just because you guys are buddies.
If you're the one who makes it, you got to help those who help themselves. Right. So maybe I want to help my buddies, but like I got to trust that you're not going to fuck this up.
You have to believe it. You have to want to invest in like their projects as if they're your projects. So if you're gonna put your name on it, you have to look at it like, all right, we all fail here.
Because when people just bring along a turtle from Entourage, along for the ride, let's just say they don't usually end up billionaires the way Turtle in the fucking show did.
I was gonna say, I mean, like Turtle, like he runs like a couple of successful chains.
After they wrote like an outrageously unrealistic story for them, he made out okay. But,
he's probably doing the best. Right?
Usually the Turtles,
Adrian Grenier.
That's kind of true. Yeah, Jay Ferrara was at least those Think Like a Man movies.
And he was in those. He's got Fat Sal's. I mean, like the guy's killing it.
That's so true. Can I ask you a question as a white?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Aren't you like white passing though?
Well, yeah, but the melanin doesn't lie. Like I am lacking in that, and the world perceives me that way. Even though my Spanish is pretty good and my mom's from Cuba, soy Latino. Pero one thing, and this is maybe related. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if there's any whites that black people really fuck with, it's goofy whites, zany whites. Like famously, the Wayans putting on Jim Carrey. Eminem was literally a crazy person in Detroit that somehow, and I think lately Tim Robinson is kind of the example of a guy who's clearly comfortable being around, working with black people, and coming up in Detroit and stuff.
I don't think there's I don't think there's a template of it, honestly.
Really?
I think because all the guys you listed are all different.
No, but they're kooky as fuck. All of them are kooky. So I feel like black people
white
with
seem as kooky.
Whites.
I think I think what I've noticed within the black community,
that's brave and
what
powerful.
what black people fuck with, it's undeniability, right? Like if somebody's undeniable, it's hard to just like hate against that. So if you see like when you listen to Dr. Dre talk about Eminem, he's just like, this white boy is crazy, and it's mainly because he had the balls and the fearlessness to go against these guys, but also to be good at it. Anybody can be fucking fearless, right? You can have a homeless guy go on an open mic, right, and just like rip it, and then the next day he's like what were we all thinking? But it's undeniability and consistency, right? That's why like if you go to a basketball court or anything athletic, right, because black people have deemed ourselves as like athletically superior than anybody. So if anybody comes onto the court or the field or the pitch, and dominates, well then they've got your respect. So in any other field, it's the same way.
Yeah.
Whether it's acting, whether it's comedy, whether it's construction.
Okay, but I'll put it this way, right? Like I feel like black people don't love like your Mark Zuckerbergs, your Jeff Bezos. So it's like they're undeniably successful.
Yeah, but that's different because it's almost like
corporate.
They feel like they could do that. They're like, if I had the same resources as those guys, I could.
That's my theory.
But Eminem, I can't rap as good as Eminem.
Right.
I can't be I can't do 1,000 voices or 1,000 characters like a Jim Carrey.
Sure.
Right.
My
but
theory,
I can go get money like Jeff Bezos if I fucking stab enough people in the back.
My theory is also like black people expect white people to be boring and button down in corporate. So the moment one of them kind of breaks that mold, they're like, "Oh shit, look at this guy! Like that's pretty crazy." And I think they're just like kind of tickled by that, where they're just like, "That's not what I was expecting out of a guy like this." But that was always kind of like what I clocked personally.
No, I mean, like, listen, man, black people fuck with Brad Pitt too. It's just like he's not doing anything like remarkable.
Well, that's because he gets bitches.
Yeah, but these are all I'm saying. These are all skill levels that we
undeniably
respect. Undeniably getting bitches.
That's so true. But he's also like a goofy stoner guy. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's so funny.
Okay, I have a question for you. You know what the term stud is, right?
Totally.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So when someone says, "Oh, this is my stud friend," what is the first race that comes to mind?
Honestly, because I was born in the 80s, like when you think stud, you're like, all right, are they bringing like a big buff white dude in? Or stud because I'm, still part of the black community, fortunately. I do think lesbian that has better hats and tattoos than me.
But what race?
Obviously, yeah, black woman.
Okay. This solves my, because literally everybody I've asked, they're like, "What is a stud?" I go, "I thought everybody thought it was like a bush lesbian."
It's still in the underground a little bit, but now that people should know, yes. So all the Rose Battle community, a stud is a Punky Johnson type.
So use it. Use that in your shit.
You didn't know what stud was, huh?
I didn't.
What
No,
did you
well,
think?
she said stud, and I was like, well, like
Horse?
a horse.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't even think about horse.
That's
Because
that's where the word comes from in the first place. Too.
Right. That's a stud. Yeah. But that's what we think about, like, a thoroughbred athlete, a stud.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, now it's
also
about
lesbians,
hot
too.
lesbians who can shoot threes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're all over Instagram and TikTok too. I follow a few. I follow a few female baller accounts. This girl Anjane, I'm shouting you out. I'm gonna tag you.
You were not an ally. I mean, that's crazy at this point. I feel like stud's been going on for so long.
I know.
You should know.
Well, because I knew her by her name. I did not buy her as a stud.
I hear you. She probably wouldn't even want to be like, maybe categorized as such. I feel like stud is like a 35, maybe 32 and under term for like those kids. But if you're an ally, you know what a stud is.
I thought I was, man. I thought
you went horse on this.
Okay, I'm right. That's all I wanted to hear.
Like thinking strapping white guy who was like QB1. You were like, no, like a horse, right? Yeah, like a
like
Mustang.
a literal horse at the Belmont Stakes.
Right.
Yeah. Just because I spent a summer in Kentucky and it had a big impact on me. Well, I'm sorry that I'm a bigot who didn't know what a stud was. The comedy commissioners who told me that. Speaking of which, as commissioner of Roast Battle, I kind of have this idea. I do think you're a good arbitrator of comedy disputes. Have you ever done one in real time, in real life? Like something where it's like, this happened?
A comedy dispute?
Yeah.
I mean, guys would do it, I think, like back in the day when open mics weren't filmed.
I love
So, yeah.
Back when open mics weren't filmed.
So,
Back when they were worth filming.
Back when they were sacred. Back when we weren't like filming, every guy who's got some kind of disability, and they're just like, let's exploit that.
Pull up a timestamp of one of our past episodes where we talk about the Kill Tony of it all. But I did so we did want to kind of arbitrate or have you arbitrate some classic comedy disputes that we tend to see happen over and over again.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and
we
you're
got?
going to be held to this. So
Okay.
the word is bond. Yuna, do you have a first scenario?
Okay.
For Brian
A
Moses?
comic steals a premise but writes a different punchline.
When it comes to joke.
What's the context of this one? I mean, same premise. So, like, let's say the premise is a chicken crosses the road, right? Basic premise, but then it's a different punchline. If this comic is known for those types of premises, like if this person's using a quick one-liner about AIDS, rape, or abortion, then and this person comes with the same thing, it's just like, hey, man, you know that's Tiffany. She markets.
She's the AIDS, rape, abortion gal.
Yeah, she's monopolized the market on AIDS, rape, abortion. So, like, you can't be just coming with the tips, premises, and then just like change. Like, maybe give her the tag instead.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you an example. Like, I feel like most people when they start out, they like talk about their race, and for me, it was like, if you want to be trans, it's easiest to do with Asians because we all look the same. And then some other Asian guy did that, and then he gave the Mulan example, and I was like, oh, that's a way better punchline.
Nice. So you gotta give it up.
So she'd had
It was
parallel
original thought though, like individually.
Yeah, because also you guys are both Asian, so it's like I think that premise is wide open. For
But you've heard a version of that joke before, though, right? Because I definitely had when she told it to me. I was like, yeah, dude, that's a very classic joke at this point. And she's like, oh, someone else did it too.
I didn't know. I was
no,
talking
I mean,
about being Asian.
it could just be of like the times, right? Just because maybe now they can talk about it more because trans people are more accepted than they were maybe even 20 years or 10 years ago,
Or just even more in the news.
because ladyboys have always kind of been around, and even
Sure.
like obviously the big punchline of just like that community.
Yeah.
But now that there's more
Nuance.
diversity in that community.
Yeah.
You guys kind of get the OG status, I guess. So maybe it's a little. It's now the jokes are probably matriculating in a little more because that's such an older tradition, I guess now because of Lady Boys.
Do you see yourself? Are you witnessing firsthand? Do you see a lot of bit biters, stolen premises, like stuff that you're clearly like, oh, I've seen a version of this.
It's not any different. It's almost like when you ask me that, it's like, are there more black people being murdered by cops now than there were? Back
It's
in the
always
day,
been
like,
there.
It's always been
around.
there. It's just it's being filmed more.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but like, like joke thievery is always. I mean, like listen, premise thievery, joke thievery is always going to be a thing. And what I've always, what they always say is whoever gets it on TV first. But now because we're not on TV anymore, it's whoever gets it on social media first. So. If you get your premise on there first, then it is yours.
I mean, even Robin Williams was famously like the worst.
But he would pay people, right?
He would,
right?
Or his manager would at least.
Totally.
Yeah, but restitution would be restored. But also those people are getting like $20-$50 here and there while Robin's building equity in the most massive empire that like show business has ever seen. So,
but that's cool. I mean, because it's like at this, Daniel Tosh thing says this is the great thing is, and somebody steals your joke is you can always write more because you wrote that joke. Right?
Oh, you know the Bill Hicks Dennis Leary dispute,
right?
And Bill Hicks had the best response ever because they were friends. Dennis Leary stole his joke. And Bill and then he was like, I don't know, maybe Bill stole it from me for all I know. And Bill was like, yeah, I stole it from Dennis, but in order to disguise it, I added some punchlines in there. And just to really throw everyone off the trail, I did it before he did.
Oh.
I was like, and Dennis Leary could never write that bar.
No.
But Bill Hicks was so confident that he was funnier than him, that he's going to put him down in a way that's funnier than the joke he saw in the first place.
Yeah, you see it a lot, especially like with people's style. But I think, for the most part, new comics, just, if you're even listening or watching, in your first 3 years, they say you're kind of just like biding your favorite comic style. So you kind of learn your own voice.
Yeah.
Or you get your own experience. You just have to survive those first like 3 to 5 years.
I came up when Louis C.K. was the thing, and he made it look so accessible. So I walk into these Austin open mics in the 2010s, and it's just nothing but sad whites.
Right.
Blah, 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 jack off and die. Like all the classics.
Like I started in the late aughts, early aughts, right? Kind of like your age. Like I'm late 30s, early 40s right now. Like, I was in late
I'm doing
aughts,
the math
aughts.
now, Moses.
I'm in the late aughts. And I think it was big, what's his name? Dane Cook energy. A lot of those guys were doing that. So it was like Brian Callen was doing it.
Brian Callen still doesn't know his comedic identity.
Yeah. But a lot of guys, Chris D'Elia, it was the big act out, like you're selling every fucking word you're saying.
Never liked him either, to be honest. Fuck Chris D'Elia. I never liked him.
And then there's Louis C.K. and now it's Gillis. It's like everybody's doing Gillis.
Yeah. Oh my God, I know.
Here's the thing. Shane Gillis assumed all the risk of the gay and retarded of it all. He assumed the risk, so he gets to live the reward. Now everyone's like blah blah gay and retarded.
Yeah.
It was Chappelle too, man. I mean, like Chappelle had the thing where he would, slap his microphone against his leg or whatever it was.
God,
so then that was a thing. It was so. I mean, flattery is the. I'm sorry.
Imitation.
Impersonation is the biggest form of flattery. So it's like whoever the guy is at the time, people will be following that guy a lot.
Yeah.
But as far as like stealing premises, that's a tough one. Stealing punchlines, that's
you brought up stolen essence and stolen. So what about this fucking guy and I hate to even give him any airtime, but like the Mitch Hedberg impersonator, practically. You probably seen
I talk about this once a week, but
really, I've never brought it up before.
Not on a podcast, but just like within like the circles. And I'm excited to talk about it because, listen, we've been talking about this throughout this podcast of open mics. When they weren't filmed. There was a thing where you would see this all the time in an open mic. You would see guys with disabilities. You would see people who were homeless and losing their minds, mentally ill. You would see guys doing impersonations of other guys, right? Like Andrew Dice Clay or Mitch Hedberg. It would happen all the fucking time. And it's fine once or twice, but then that kind of plays itself out because the community gets to kind of flush that out.
Are you saying to me No Breaks has a shelf life?
No, but that's what I'm saying about the difference between the TV era and the social media era. It's like we used to be able to like flush it out, really be like, hey, like have your own voice. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we get it. That was fine. But like, don't do shit every week. It's like somebody already has that. So the gang wouldn't allow that. Right. But now the internet, like not only do they fucking support it, they protect it.
Yeah.
And that's a real issue with me. So like, no, I don't like it. And I hate that the internet has done this to guys like that. Listen, I like the person and the comic potentially that Tim can be, but I'm not a big fan of the character shit where it's just like that you guys have to like lean on that the whole time and you got it through this fucking Star Search.
I will say to Tim's credit, he's at least like this Mitch Hedberg guy denies that he even knows who Mitch Hedberg was. He's like, oh really? I'm doing Mitch Hedberg and doing the same joke. And at least like Tim came in like, hey, this is a Dice impression and like I'm actually kind of leaning into like what kills and he'll at least do shows of him as like not Timmy No Breaks. And I'm gonna just sound like really old man yells at cloud here, but back then taste mattered. unfiltered because you had to get through that fucking filter. But now you can fool
But
people.
you know, you can defend Tim all day, but it's like if Tim wasn't selling out all the time, he wouldn't be doing that character. He would have just done it a couple times. If he was a real artist, he would have just done it a couple fucking times and been like, cool, I got this is who I am, and would have came back to kill Tony as himself or another character, like Adam Ray does. Like leaning on this one thing you're doing when you know it's already been done to death by this other person. What you're doing is not you're just like shit on the guy's legacy. It's just you're just kind of eating into his fucking ticket sales.
Oh, big time.
That's all I'm saying. It's
Big
just like
time.
you're kind of like you're
taking money out of
biting.
people's.
Yeah, so it's like do it once and say I have this character, and then move on to another one, like a fucking stand up would. And literally the open mic community would be doing that. They get rid of those guys and they come back with other characters, or they figure out who they're supposed to be on stage. Not this shit of, well, this is what the e-commerce fucking world likes, so I'm gonna be doing this.
Yeah, why would I stop?
Exactly. So and this is what I'm saying about like comics sold the ass so quick when it came to short form content in the 2020s. It's so fast and warp speed. Like I can't even articulate it a lot because I'm just like, wow. And now we're seeing
it happen overnight.
Now we're seeing the brunt of that. Now people are like, oh, this guy's doing this guy. I'm like, what about the other fucking guy? What about the other guys? It's like we've been exploiting what happens at open mic so long. You guys are now like have rules about the rules that were already there. It's just insane.
I'm sorry, it's just too fucking relatable.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, well, this guy's doing this. I'm like, shut up. Everybody's on some kind of spectrum here and winning. Like, literally, those guys wouldn't last at a real open mic in the fucking even 2010s because they wouldn't want to keep coming back to that because there's no incentive for them.
Big time.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Unless they loved it.
Yeah.
Right? Or they thought they can get a fucking 5 on one of the late night
And
programs.
those losers that would bomb and keep coming back, at least they were our losers. They're
And
not like
they were
not,
in it for the love of the game. They weren't in it for like what. This is purely just to fucking get ticket sales and say you're a comic when you haven't been doing it that long. And then oh my god, promoters have to find out you guys can't even do 45.
You hear that, Yuna? Like read her for filth.
I could do 20.
Yeah, TBD.
But I only have like a year in.
No, you're
cut
brand
me some
new.
slack.
I'll cut you some slack. What do you think of the rise of clowning? You've been seeing more of that shit, I imagine.
That was going on in the 2010s. I actually liked it. I mean, it was a little more underground when I had started. It was like
it's as mainstream as can be right now.
It's
because it's very social media friendly
cool.
too. I mean,
I didn't think it would ever be because it was silent back in the day. I mean,
we talk about
silent.
circular though, like cyclical.
Yeah.
It's like like now clowning catches up to what algorithms, social media, and all that likes.
I
too.
like the clowning of it all. I mean, like that. Let that burn. Let that material burn. Right. Let roast battles. Let that material burn. Even like the crowd work of it all. Let that shit burn too. But it's like doing your act and then like having to do a new act. Like you literally are just burning your bars the whole time. Of like you just put up a 5-minute. You can't put on your fucking album now. Right? Yeah. Unless you guys just want to go all singles, then let's make it a joke contest.
Well, now it's like the music industry. How the music industry isn't album based; it's like hit based now. I mean, it's always been, but now it's just like the Spotify single.
Right.
It's not really the album. It's which is crazy because like bands would argue over song order and shit. Like this is so important, and
but you
and all
get
that.
more money the longer it is. Everybody, that's how the fucking monetization works. That's why long form always pays you more than short form.
That's why we paid for an extra half hour of studio time because people are gonna want to hear what Brian motherfucking Moses has to say.
So why would you sell yourself out for short form and like we make our money through fucking long form, man?
Theoretically, they're like that's the audience building side.
Yeah.
Of it.
No, I
Also,
get it. I get the social
part.
relationship, but it's also like we're not as a stand-up. You shouldn't be built for that. Like, burn your other stuff up, burn your sketches, burn those other things. But like burning your stand-up, I mean, like these are your albums, right? So like doing a single and having having a one-hit wonder. I mean, what is that? I don't know.
It's a longer hill to climb.
Definitely is.
Yeah, and I think people get like instant gratification too easily.
Yeah,
How do you feel?
I am the old man.
And I'm not even coming at you here. I was just curious as someone
I can feel
who.
it. It's
no,
coming.
no. I'm trying to delicately talk about how you're famous but not funny. Coming up, like you found early success. Do you feel any guilt about like?
I do feel like
early
I have
attention you
more followers than people that I'm definitely not funnier than.
Sure.
Like I could never do a show on the same lineup as them.
Right.
But it's like, what am I gonna do about it other than be a better comic?
Or are you gonna like deny the attention that's coming your way? It's like
I mean,
what are you gonna
if
do?
it's an advantage, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
But obviously, the goal is stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah. So to everyone
There's
about
still
their stand-up
time.
career. Yeah, there is. Can I tell you a time that in terms of like what's the difference between joke writing and being a hack and stuff like that? The time where I felt like I really appreciated you and your taste. And it's a tough one. But the first time I ever did, I got booked to do stand-up warming up for Roast Battle, not just Roast Battle. And like I was happy to do a set. I'm just always looking to do sets at the Belly Room. And I have this joke about my ex-wife's name. Her name's Nigar. And I did that joke, and it's like at its best one of my strongest jokes, and like applause breaks. At its worst, it like runs me out of town. And the worst part is when it's like 50-50 and no one knows how to feel about it.
Right.
But I had this joke about how we eloped and got married, and the judge was like, "Do you take Nigar to be your wife?" And everyone's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I didn't name her, and like it's okay, guys, I love her. She's my Nigar." And everyone, like half the room in that room, were laughing. The other were like, "Huh?" But you were backstage and you laughed the hardest out of anyone in the room. And I was like, thank God. That was a big swing, and Moses liked it. And maybe you were laughing because you're like, I can't believe he just said that.
No, because I know the joke. Because Hormoz Rashidi does that joke.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, am I a bit biter?
No. I don't think no. I thought it was funny because I thought that was such a unique take on the name Nigar.
Sure.
But now I'm like, oh, it just seems like okay. It just let me know. I'm just like, okay, it's the first thing you think of when you think of that name, right? So you're thinking of a way to kind of say it, and I thought that Hormoz had like a niche, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't. So I was laughing more or less that like Hormoz wasn't doing a very below the surface level joke. It was just he was just trying to use the N-word in a funny, clever way, and he used the first thing that within his culture he could find, where it's a guy who actually was married to a girl like that, experienced it. It just yours had a deeper connection, and probably a deeper comedic. I say story around it, just because you are like a white passing Cuban dude, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And Hormoz is a Persian dude who actually probably has cousins named Nigar.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's just it was that whole thing right there just made it was funny to me. I was just like, Hormoz, you fucking pussy. You could have done this joke so much deeper. You got a guy who fucking literally had to marry a chick and be like, and he had to like experience thing, for the bit. Like you literally have cousins like this. Like you could have been going so much deeper. So it was just very funny.
Wow,
that's actually
a high compliment.
Dude, that cracks me up. And I love because I was like, he's laughing really hard, but also sometimes we laugh really hard because of like not because the joke's funny, like it is funny or whatever.
It's the reaction the crowd's giving you. Yeah.
The reaction of the crowd or just like your relationship to like what you know about this premise or something like that.
Totally.
Just, like,
when I heard because that was like his closer.
It's my closer a lot of times too.
Dude, Nigar is that's very funny to me. I'm like, oh my God, now I know there's two guys doing this same bit. This is funny.
Well, and I knew this like not until after the fact, but I guess Kumail Nanjiani has like a joke about my cousin.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys,
But no one, but they're all different jokes about someone being named that. But I was just like, I've that laugh brought me comfort because it's a joke that I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna go. I never really fully do.
Well, I think why people don't laugh is because they don't believe it.
That's true. People have been like,
really what it is.
They think I just made up a person and named her adjacent to the
N-word. They think you're just trying to say it. I think that's the only reason people aren't laughing at it, because objectively it's a very funny bit if you understand that this name does exist.
And that's why. Well, and that's why I explained it means my love in Persian. It's a beautiful name.
Totally.
I know it's close to the worst word I could ever say, but I love her. She's my nigga. And then
that's literally Hormoz's joke. That is so funny to me. Hormoz, oh my God, bro, you've got it. I hope you don't still do this fucking.
Get him on this podcast.
This is so funny for me.
And that's also why I try to sell when like the judge looks me in the eyes like, Brian, do you take, I need you to like know that this was a fucking part of my life that I went through.
It's great. I didn't. All that tracks now, because honestly, I was of the ilk of people who were like, this fucking name doesn't exist. And then I hear you, I'm like, oh my God, it exists so much. Like, there's some fucking Cuban guy who's like married, who's into Persian girls, and he found one.
Actually, okay, in roast battle, how important do you find fact checking? Right, if someone's
the worst. Don't do it.
Really?
Don't do it. Don't do it on stage.
In terms of
maybe do it during just do it like in the judges section. Don't do it.
Okay.
When live rounds are being fired, nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
You could say, I lost 45 pounds after somebody calls you fat, and like, do we care?
Yeah.
You're fat right now, right? It's like, do I care you haven't touched 17 kids? She just said it. We're gonna believe it until afterwards when this isn't a caricature of who you both are. Right?
Or okay, but there are also those jokes where, in order for it to be funny, you have to believe that this fact about their life is true. So they'll build that building block, like Yuna does blah blah blah, which means that this payoff is going to work. So like if they just give a fact that's not true about this to make the payoff work.
No, that sucks. I mean, listen, I do hate the fake premises and guys who just like make up things. But during the battle,
but they are funny. But they can be funny.
Yeah, I fact checking because nobody's gonna care, and if anything, it just makes you look bitter.
And people who over-explain the roast sometimes too. It's kind of like get to the point because they're like, well, technically it was this week and not that week, or and then it's like just get to the joke.
We don't care. Like it's an old premise in stand-up where it's just like, oh, the other day I was doing this, and it's like you've been doing this for 10 years.
My friend Austin Silver, one of my favorite, just like he's like. Recently got out of a relationship, and he's like, every comedian's either getting into or coming out of a relationship. It helps the narrative, anyways. And then he just goes on with
legitimately,
yeah.
So yeah, fact checking is it's a tough one. Just during the fight, it's tough. It's like having a little physical fight and be like, hey, I told you not to hit me in the ribs, man. And now you got broken ribs because fucking you're like acknowledging that you got hit in the ribs.
Yeah. Moses, before you head out, is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, guys, watch Church and State. It's a podcast
please
me and my buddy Asher will be taking over very soon because we love the title.
Yeah. Moses hates the title.
You think it's stupid?
No, it's
no. He does. He doesn't. He doesn't want to be rude. But
I don't know who Church and who State is. I don't know.
I'm
Church
he's
'cause I'm
old. I'm
old.
State because I'm young.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah.
It's old. It's called
Old
euthanasia.
Euthanasia. That's why we like rice and beans too.
Euthanasia.
Yeah.
No, just roast battle. Anything roast battle. At roast battle. It's on all the stuff.
At Brian motherfucking Moses on Instagram.
If you want, you don't have to. I wouldn't recommend it, but roast battle.
I'm at Brian.Bogart on Instagram.
Yuna Pahk everywhere.
We appreciate you guys. Love y'all.
Thank you.
See you on the
Love
next
you.
one.
Bye.